That was a clip from actress and singer Rita Wilson's new single entitled Little Black Dress. Wilson is also a cast member of Wes Anderson's star-studded new film, Asteroid City. The 50-set comedy is about a group of parents accompanying their space-obsessed kids to a convention in fictional Southwest desert town from which the film borrows its title. Soon, however, the families bond more than they expected when forced to quarantine together after receiving an unexpected visitor from the skies. Joining us now, actress and musical artist Rita Wilson, and I love Little Black Dress.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's so vulnerable. What's the inspiration behind it?
Well, it really is for me because I love clothes, and I can look at clothes that I have and have memories for every single piece, and it's very hard for me to let go of them.
Yes.
But I keep the special ones.
Right.
And I started thinking about those things. I can say, I remember talking to this person, what we talked about, what we ate that night.
First job interview, first
job,
date.
everything. First job, first date. So this was sort of like what would happen if you told the story of a little black dress.
Oh, I absolutely love it. And the inspiration behind your music comes from where?
Well, any place. I mean, that was a title. It started with a title, just that idea. And then your mind starts wandering. And I write with that song I wrote with Lori McKenna, who's an incredible songwriter, and Phil Barton. They're amazing. I like writing with other people because it's, I don't know, it's less isolating than being by yourself.
I follow you on Instagram. And
you do?
Yes, I'm obsessed. Are you kidding me?
I do.
And
Yes.
You will?
Yeah.
Wow, this is huge. Big day. It's like a match game. We did it.
I feel like I'm going to have to go over my account and see if it's good enough. Okay. But the duets, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the duets because I was just going down the list. It's a staggering collection of icons and music that you sing with Willie Nelson, Smokey Robinson, Jackson, Browne, Tim McGraw, Elvis Costello, Keith Urban, Leslie Odom Jr., Josh Groban, Vince Gill, Jimmy Allen. The list goes on and on and on. How did you go through and decide who you wanted to sing? Was this just like a wish list you put out there and see what comes back?
It's like a dream, really. My co-producer, Matt Rawlings, had produced Willie Nelson's Gershwin album and Sinatra album. And he won a couple Grammys for that. And I thought, that's a good guy to work with. And because of his relationship with Willie, he asked Willie to come on. He was the first person. And I think when somebody like Willie joins in, everybody says, oh, it must be good.
Yeah, right.
Try it out.
There's so many extraordinary artists here, but also the songs. I mean, Massachusetts, I can hear it in my head. You and Leslie Odom Jr. singing that, If, with Tim McGraw. Well, but one that is, I can hear really Jackson Browne, Let It Be Me. And we've got a clip of you talking a little bit more about working with Jackson Browne.
Jackson, to me, is one of the first artists that I just fell in love with. His voice, his writing was so personal and so emotional. So to be able to now express it in a way that with a full band was really like a dream come true.
Don't take this heaven from one if you must cling to someone now and forever. Let it be me. Each time we belong.
So beautiful.
Wait a minute.
Thank you. Jackson is one of my songwriting heroes.
Yeah.
And, that his voice, when he came into the studio to sing and you first are hearing him on the mic, it's one of those experiences that is almost surreal. Like, I can't believe it's that person.
There's something about your voices together and that song. Something is happening.
It's just
so beautiful.
Thank you.
These people that you performed with and also you're performing, it doesn't just happen. You have to hone that craft.
And I have to say that any of the writing that I've done, I always co-write. I have to give major credit to the songwriters that I have worked with because it's like a master class. The writers down in Nashville, the writers in the UK or Sweden, they're just, they have enormous craft and they work at that craft choreographed all the time so that it looks easy, but it's not.
No.
And, you know, if you think about it, it's storytelling in 3 minutes, right? As they say in Nashville, 3 chords and the truth. And how do you capture that and put it all into one song that tells the story? And for me, growing up, that was what it was all about. I loved the Beatles. She's Leaving Home. What was happening there? That story. What guy in the motor trade? No.
Right.
Don't let her go with that guy. As a kid, that was impressive. And my mom, she was Greek. And, you know, she listened to, always had music going on in the car and at home. And she would teach me about stories.
Talk about how long you've been singing, how long you've wanted to do this, how long you've been writing. How did you, because like I said, you just don't get to this point where you can go, hey, Jackson, let's do this Everly's Brothers thing and make it sound like that. So
I have to say, I started songwriting about 11 years ago, and it's all because of this one woman songwriter, Cara Diagordi, who asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, well, I would give anything to be able to write music like you. And she said, well, why can't you? And I said, well, I don't play an instrument. I don't read music. And she said, neither do I. Do you have something you want to say? And I was like, what? And at that point, it was like sparklers and firecrackers went off in my head. Like, what? I could say something? And she said, I'll write your first songs with you. And she did.
Wow.
That opened up the whole world.
The single is out now called Little Black Dress, and Rita Wilson, now in Forever Duets, has been out for a couple of months. You can check that out too. We've got to ask you what we have here about Asteroid City.
Yes.
I've had the privilege of seeing the movie. It's just a beautiful, what you'd expect from Wes Anderson, but also surprising in this new setting. What was the experience like for you, and how do you describe the Wes Anderson experience to someone who hasn't lived through it?
You enter into the Wes Anderson world, which is such a beautiful bubble of creativity, and in some ways, because he's so very prepared and he knows exactly what he wants, it's liberating in a way. So you go into the picture at their disposal. You know, everybody that he hires is at the top of their game. Like, you know, you're in the company of people who really excel at what they do, and it's very nice. You kind of hand yourself over.
Rita, thank you for coming on. Asteroid City premieres nationwide on June 23rd, and you can listen to Rita's newest single, Little Black Dress, on all music platforms.
you can also
Rita
follow
Wilson.
her on Instagram.
I do.
You do.
I know somebody I'm following.
Really? Oh my God, I'm so excited. You can see a lot of animals and
I love it.
weird garden stuff.
I love that.
Yeah. Rita
Thank-
Wilson, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Having
It's
me.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back with much more Morning Joe.